Off the shelf, Firepower, a game of man-to-man squad tactics. Basic game rules folder. Introduction to the basic game rules. Firepower is a game of man-to-man combat at the present time and during the recent past, designed to test the tactical combat skills of 2 or more players. The game scales approximately 5 yards per hex and 30 seconds per turn. Combat at this level is at its most basic and brutal. Propaganda, war aims, and the overall situation matter little. Full attention is focused on the immediate enemy, his location, numbers, and weapons. The local terrain ensures survival. Okay, so basic game setup and preparation for play. So there's a basic game scenario. Step 1, lay out the boards. Here they are. Laid them out. Actually, they're very similar to the MBT boards, but this is board 1, long way this way, and board 2 at the top there. So it's 2 of the. So it's the size of about a half a map sheet. So board 1, board 2 laid out per the diagram there. Place the turn record right there. Place the turn record near the map board, and place any unused unit in the 1 square. Step 2, okay, so then step 2, players roll a die to determine on which side they're going to set up, and so this side or the opposite side, over there. Step 3, by any mutually agreeable method, okay, we're going to decide which side plays side A and B, but basically for this scenario we have identical forces. We have green forces, or olive drab, maybe you say olive drab. We have 4 riflemen. We have 1 light machine gun. That's the light machine gun. And all you have is a figure, a weapon system, what they call it, a major personal weapon carried, and a identification number. That's all you have on the, and then a PST, which I guess is pistol. Yeah, it's like a pistol. Like you want to go into modern combat with a pistol, but anyways. That is 1 force, and then you have, on the other side, you have the tan force, which is made up of exactly the same force. Lay down 4 riflemen, LMG, and pistol. So have our 2 forces there. Total of 6 soldiers on each side. Oh, and then we pull, for each side, we pull 3 sequence units of any letters. So I have 3 olive drab sequence units, they're called, and I have 3 sequence units for the tan side as well, like that, for a total of 6 sequence units there. So each side is going to roll a die, so 10 and 8. The player with the low roll, so the green forces, they're going to set up within 5 hexes of their side. So I'm just going to put the green forces on one side, tan forces on the other. You're going to set up within 5 hexes, and then we're going to start play. I quickly set up my tan forces within 5 hexes of their side of the board, and right away we get to our first point. These units always face a hex side, so I have to readjust them so they're always facing a hex side, not the hex point. So zoomed way out, we can see pretty much all the playing area. Green force, tan force. Head to head. Alright, the game starts when all setup and preparation is complete. Game is played in turns. Divide into phases. There are 4 turns to the basic scenario. All right, first, the mix sequence units phase. So I think we take these 3 sequence units for each side. Yeah, either player mixes the sequence unit. So I've mixed them in my hand. The impulse phases. An impulse phase begins when a sequence unit is drawn like that. So I think for the basic game, it is just, I think it's just the color that matters. So I think this means that the tan side is going to go first. So let's see. Sequence units are randomly drawn one at a time. As each is drawn, the soldiers on the side matching the color drawn may be used to perform any actions allowed by the 2 impulses. An impulse phase begin, and there are 2 impulses per impulse phase. This continues until all sequence. Okay, units have been drawn. Okay. General impulse phase rules. Again, we're concerned with the tan side here. Changes in speed and status. The sequence units, all right, like that one there, are drawn one at a time. As each is drawn, the player controlling the soldiers of the sequence units side may perform 2 impulses. I'm still trying to figure out the 2 impulses, and I think it's going to be explained here, which together constitute 1 impulse phase. Okay, each impulse consists of performing the actions for the soldier or soldiers in 1 hex. Only after the completion of 1 impulse is the next sequence unit randomly drawn. Okay. As each is drawn, invert the previous sequence unit and place in an area separate from those still to be drawn. No player may. Okay. This is all for later. I just want to get going. Okay, so I guess in a sense I get to act, well, from 2 hexes, I guess. Actions. Each impulse consists of performing the actions for the soldiers in 1 hex. 1 hex. Okay. All right, so now let's go to basic game actions, movement factors, and expenditures. Obviously, we want to get moving. The 2 impulses of an impulse phase may be performed in any desired order. Seems strange that needs to be specified, but okay. By the controlling player, each impulse must involve different soldiers. Okay. I guess that just means I can't act with units in 1 hex and then act with that one again. I guess that's what that's saying. Let's get moving. Okay. During each impulse, each involved soldier may have up to 4 movement factors expended, performing any desired actions, which may be performed in any desired order or combination. All actions cost movement factors. All right. Maybe there's a table. Okay, so the rules here, the basic game rules, mention a basic game movement factor expenditure chart on the basic game card, but I didn't actually find one. So I have a game card, so I'm just going to use it. I'm not sure what they mean by the basic game movement factor expenditure chart, but there is a leg movement factor expenditure chart. And so I'm not going to go through all this, but basically I'm just going to, just to get moving, I'm just going to do these things. I'm going to enter a new hex. They're all standing. I should point out the way that the unit markers are the way they are now indicates that they're standing, and they're not crouching or prone. So for now, just to get going, I'm leaving them standing. I'm entering a new hex, which is 1, and I'm turning 1, 2, 3, between 1 and 3 hex sides in a hex, and that expends 1 movement point. For now, that's what I'm going to do. And so, for example, 2, right? So that's 1 because I turned 1 to 3 hex sides. That's 1, and then that's 2 because I entered a new hex. You have to enter the hex that you're facing, and then that's 3 to turn again, and that's 4. And I'll tell you right now, I'm keeping a really open mind, but I'm wondering why one soldier is moving in such a mechanical way. But I'm just wondering. I'll leave that aside because I gotta see what the designers put here, right? Well, for me to move the next, you know what? I'm just gonna move the light machine gunner. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, no, 4. All right. So they've moved. Do I need to indicate them? I'm not sure about that. The next sequence unit is pulled. It's a green chit there, so the green forces are also going to move forward, expending 4 movement points. Well, not all of them, 2 of them, right? Expending 4 movement points, standing, and just rotating or moving into a new hex. So that side of the green force moved forward, and that's the end of this impulse.